When did Emperor Menelik II rule Ethiopia? Emperor Menelik II ruled Ethiopia from 1889 to 1913. He became the Emperor of Ethiopia after the death of Yohannes IV, who was killed in a battle against the Mahdists of Sudan. He was crowned on November 3, 1889, at the Church of Mary on Mount Entoto. He died on December 12, 1913, after suffering a stroke. He was buried at the Ba'eta Le Mariam Monastery, which is now the Kidane Meheret Church in Addis Ababa. How did Emperor Menelik II defeat the Italians at Adwa? Emperor Menelik II defeated the Italians at Adwa by using his superior numbers, strategy, and weaponry. He mobilized about 100,000 Ethiopian soldiers from different regions and ethnic groups who were loyal to him and motivated to defend their homeland, who wanted to counter Italy's influence in Africa. He chose the mountainous terrain of Adwa as the battlefield, where he could take advantage of his knowledge of the land and the high altitude. He outsmarted the Italian commander, General Oreste Baratieri, who divided his forces into 4 columns and attacked the Ethiopian positions at dawn. The Ethiopians repelled the Italian assaults and counterattacked with overwhelming force, inflicting heavy casualties and capturing thousands of prisoners. The Battle of Adwa was a decisive and historic victory for Ethiopia, which secured its independence and sovereignty. Emperor Menelik II Battle of Adwa. Emperor Menelik II was the ruler of Ethiopia from 1889 to 1913. He is best known for leading the Ethiopian army to a decisive victory over the Italian forces at the Battle of Adwa on March 1, 1896. This battle was one of the most significant events in African history, as it preserved Ethiopia's independence and inspired other African nations to resist colonialism. The Battle of Adwa was the result of a diplomatic dispute between Ethiopia and Italy over the interpretation of the Treaty of Wuchale, signed in 1889. The treaty recognized Italy's claim over the colony of Eritrea, but also contained a controversial clause that Italy claimed made Ethiopia a protectorate under its control. Menelik rejected this claim and renounced the treaty in 1893, preparing for war with Italy. The Italian army, led by General Oreste Baratieri, invaded Ethiopia from Eritrea in 1895, hoping to take advantage of the internal divisions and ethnic rivalries among the Ethiopian nobility. However, Menelik managed to unify his forces and mobilize a large army of about 100,000 soldiers. The Italians, on the other hand, had about 20,000 troops, mostly native Eritrean conscripts, and faced logistical and communication problems. The two armies met at the mountainous terrain of Adwa, in northern Ethiopia, on March 1, 1896. The battle lasted for about 6 hours, and ended with a crushing defeat for the Italians, who suffered heavy casualties and lost most of their artillery and equipment. The Ethiopians, on the other hand, suffered relatively few losses and captured many prisoners and flags. The battle was a humiliating blow for Italy, which had to recognize Ethiopia's sovereignty and independence in the Treaty of Addis Ababa, signed on October 26, 1896. The Battle of Adwa was a historic event that had a lasting impact on both Ethiopia and Africa. It established Menelik as a respected and influential leader who expanded and modernized Ethiopia during his reign. It also boosted the morale and pride of the Ethiopian people, who celebrated their victory every year in March. Moreover, it inspired other African leaders and movements to resist and challenge the European colonial powers, and contributed to the rise of Pan-Africanism and nationalism in the continent.